So is this a sequel, a soft reboot? What exactly is it? Yo, Joe? Hey everybody, what's going on? After a 4-year absence, they finally decide, hey, we're going to make a sequel to G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. But really, it's hard to even call this a sequel. We'll get into that in a bit. So yeah, today we are going to be talking about G.I. Joe Retaliation, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Roadblock, and Ray Park returns as Snake Eyes, and Channing Tatum's in it for a minute. But anyway, there will be spoilers in this review. But here's the thing. One thing I did forget to mention in the last review was Arnold Vosloo's role as Zartan, the Master of Disguise. And I just wanted to bring that up in this one because it actually plays into the plot points of something they actually brought over from the last movie. We are introduced to what's been going on since the last movie. They say since the Nanomite Wars, which was, again, this was like 4-year difference between movies. They're basically saying we better tell everybody about this because chances are they aren't going to go back and watch The Rise of Cobra. They talk about that now Duke is leading the Joes with Roadblock, Lady J, Flint, and Snake Eyes. And he's got some other people too, but they don't matter because they're going to die soon. They also talk about how Zartan is still in the White House, disguised as the American president, and that Cobra Commander and Destro are still captives. They mention Destro, but he just like gets wrote off for nothing. It's like, you're out of the band. That's the actual literal line that Cobra Commander says, which, by the way, is not Joseph Gordon-Levitt this time. It's Luke Bracey this time. That being said, don't really matter because most of the time he's behind a mask anyway. So they're captured, and the whole thing is Zartan as the president he comes up with a plan to destroy G.I. Joe. He says they have stolen nuclear warheads, and now he has a new team called Cobra that took out G.I. Joe. So Cobra is now like the American government's highly trained special mission force, if we're using G.I. Joe terms. So they destroy Duke's, or the majority of Duke's forces, including Duke. They kill off Duke. From what I have understood, they did this because I guess Channing Tatum didn't like the last movie and didn't want to be a part of this one, so they wrote him off. I don't know if that's true. That's just some things I've read. So yeah, they kill off Duke. This character that had one of the biggest arcs in the first one, had a whole thing with the Baroness and all that, and they wrote him off, and it just doesn't matter anymore. So the only ones that are left of the group that we know of is Roadblock, Lady J, and Flint. And then we also find out that Snake Eyes is on his own mission, and he has a recruit named Jinx, which is played by Elodie Young, which, watching her in this, it's like, well, gee, I wonder why they picked her as Elektra. I mean, it's just kind of funny seeing her play this part and Elektra, and I love her in both of them, so I thought she was a great pick for this back then, and I thought she was a great pick for Elektra some years ago. Anyway, the Joes that are left are trying to, they're on the run, but they're trying to figure out what's all going on. Why is the president acting different? Because, again, they don't know it's Zartan. Also, Storm Shadow and Firefly, who is played by Ray Stevenson, a character I love in those cartoons and stuff. So I was glad to see him introduced in it. Ray Stevenson's pretty good as him. They go in to free Cobra Commander. And they could have freed Destro, but again, Cobra Commander says, you're not on the team anymore, you're not in the band, or whatever the line is. But as they're escaping, Storm Shadow gets hurt. He gets sent to the mountains to heal, which this ends up making Snake Eyes and Jinx go after him, which leads to probably one of the coolest scenes in the movie, which is the ninja mountain fight, which again is really cool. So they're going after Storm Shadow, and in that story we find out some truth of what happened in Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow's past. We find out that Storm Shadow did not kill the Hard Master, which was their ninjutsu master. We find out that it was someone else. So Storm Shadow, in some ways, reluctantly agrees to work with the Joes to go after Cobra because the person he's after works for Cobra. Oh, and by the way, with Firefly, they introduce him to Cobra Commander, and Cobra Commander's like, "It's good to see you, old friend." It's like, when did you have time to meet this guy? You revealed yourself as Cobra Commander from being the Doctor, and then you've been in prison ever since. Anyway, so the Joes have to go after the president, played by Zartan, of course, and they who is going to be set off or fire off a bunch of nuclear weapons against other countries, which causes other countries to do so, and then we find out what this big device that Cobra's been working on does, which is basically like a world-ending weapon without all the nuclear fallout. So the Joes have to go in and stop them. Before they do, they go get the original Joe, which is played by Bruce Willis. He's the original G.I. Joe, and he helps them to take on Cobra, and the group takes on Cobra and saves the day. Okay, where do I even begin? What really irked me about this movie, look, if you look at this movie as a soft reboot, you're going to enjoy it more than if you look at it as a direct sequel, even though there is a ton of things they brought over from the first movie. They bring over Zartan taking the place of the president. They have Destro and Cobra Commander captured. Duke is now leading G.I. Joe. Even though, other than Snake Eyes, they don't bring over any other characters. No General Hawk, no Scarlet, no Heavy Duty, nobody. So it's just kind of weird. It's like, where are the other Joes? They insinuate that all the Joes have been destroyed, right? Whenever they are attacked in this movie. But there were a lot of Joes, right? And they introduced the USS Flag at the end of the first one. So it's like, okay, can we not show the flag being destroyed or something? That being said, who knows, maybe the other Joes are out there. So they bring that stuff over, and then any story that really mattered in the first one doesn't matter anymore. So, yeah, again, if you look at it as a soft reboot, it's more enjoyable. But I hated seeing characters like Scarlet not make it over. I mean, Scarlet is one of the most well-known Joe characters in history. That being said, I mean, at least they brought in Jinx, another character I really like. So the stuff they brought over, the stuff that really, really mattered in the first one, they didn't really bring over. Except maybe the story between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. Speaking of Snake Eyes, still played by Ray Park. And Storm Shadow, still played by Lee Young-hun. So I like that those actors and characters carried over. I really like the design more of Snake Eyes in this one than I did the first one. They got rid of the stupid mouth thing, and his outfit looks more tactical, looks more like Snake Eyes. So I liked what they did with him. First time I watched it, I was a little irked that Jinx wasn't in her red ninja outfit, but then you realize why they have her in a different colored outfit, because they fight a bunch of ninjas in red later, and it'd be kind of confusing, I guess. So I guess that makes sense. They did bring over Arnold Vosloo as Zartan, sort of. I don't know if they just paid for his likeness, because the only times you ever saw his face is when they were trying to identify who he is, or when they finally took him out, and you rarely saw his face or heard it. You never heard his voice. So, in essence, Jonathan Pryce, who is the president in the first one and plays the president and Zartan in this one. So I'm not sure again, I don't know if they use CG or what, to have Arnold Vosloo in this or not. Again, Ray Stevenson is really cool as Firefly. The story itself, it just takes forever to get going. I mean, they start introducing you to all these new characters and everything like that, and by the time we get everything set up, other than, like, say, the mountain fight, not a lot of action goes on until everything gets set up for near the end. And while I was fine with that character development, I felt like the story was going in too many different places, but we hardly see Cobra Commander. The times you see him, he just walks a little bit and talks a little bit, and that's about it. I do like that they showed a little bit of his cowardice in this, because when the crap starts hitting the fan, he just like, you get this briefcase out of here, and he goes and runs, right? Very Cobra Commander-like. I did like The Rock as Roblox. I think he's a really good pick for the part. You could tell what they were trying to do with this movie was, okay, Channing Tatum doesn't want to be the face of it anymore, so we need a new, very likable face, so we're going to get The Rock, and he's going to lead this series from now on. Well, as we know, this movie came out in 2013. It's now 2021, and we're just now getting a Snake Eyes movie, a G.I. Joe Origins movie, which we know has a new Scarlet in it, and a new Storm Shadow. They're definitely starting over, and also a new Snake Eyes, of course. So, this movie, I remember when I didn't record a video on this that I can remember, because I don't even think I was doing TV at the time. I was just writing the blog at the time, and I remember writing 2 reviews for it, one as a sequel and one as a soft reboot. So, again, watching it and as a soft reboot is definitely more enjoyable. Is it still a great movie? No. Do I still really like parts of it? Of course I do. I like some of the characters. Again, seeing Firefly is cool. The Snake Eye Storm Shadow stuff is cool. Jinx is cool. I liked The Rock as Roblox, but I just feel like they were like, okay, this movie was something that was like, okay, we needed to take some stuff from the first one, just kind of ignore other stuff from the first one, stuff that really mattered in the first one, and just kind of fix it enough to where they could continue later. So in some ways, this felt like a bit like a setup film for future movies that never come. So, it's not a bad movie. It's not a great movie either. Do I enjoy it? Yes. Is it one that I'm hoping in some ways gets erased from time with this new Snake Eyes movies? Yes, that's kind of what I'm really hoping for. I want them, kind of like what Bumblebee did for the rancid live-action Transformers series. I would like to see the new Snake Eyes movie fix these movies. Because while I enjoyed parts of Rise of Cobra and Retaliation, I don't love them, and I want to see them done better. And hopefully, we will find out that Snake Eyes, the new Snake Eyes movie, is what's going to fix it. But anyway, that's going to be all for this review. See you later. Yo, Joe.